Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're doing well. This is my contact information. You're welcome to send me email to notperfectzen@gmail.com. And if you post on social media, I ask you to use @BBL_tangles so that I get a notice when you post a tile. My two little bijou size reminders today always like to remind us no mistakes. And then for today's tile, I especially want us to remember don't overthink it. The tile I'm going to do today is this one. I had a request from Topaz Lucille to show my take on this pattern, which is called Sea Wave by Ginny Lu. In the center is Doodah by Zentangle, and this one is Baton by Carole Ohl. And I really enjoyed doing this. I did this one this morning. I thought I was going to wait a while before doing Sea Wave, but I got to looking at a couple of different videos, one from Melinda Barlow and the other one from Heather Hartwick Gladden, and then looking at some of the tiles and the step outs. I came across this one in the Mosaic app, and I just thought this would be fun to do today. Okay, so I'm going to leave this little reminder here for now. What I'm going to be using today is a Zentangle 3.5-inch tile, and I have the pattern names on the back. Baton came out in 2010, Sea Wave in 2016, and Doodah came out in 2018. So these are patterns that have been around for a while. Okay, and I thought when I did this one that this would be fun to do with some blue in it. This is a watercolored tile that I did a while back. So you see it has a little bit of color on it. But this kind of reminded me of a pile of pieces of wood. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to do this side in blue and this side in brown? So the pens I'm going to use today is a blue Micron 01, a black Micron PN, and a brown Micron 01. And then I'm going to use pastel pencils, a blue Stabilo, and a rust-colored Derwent pastel pencil. And then I'll be using my Zentangle graphite pencil. And then I have 3 different tortillions, and I tend to put the color name on there, and I keep them separated from my other ones until they get too dirty, and then I get some new ones. I buy packs of them from Amazon.com for a decent price, and so that's how I like to do it. All right, let's get all these moved. And I am grateful for the accumulation of supplies that I have. I have bought so much over the years. And so I just thought it would be fun to share some different ways to do your tiles besides just black. But as you can see on this tile, which was done in just black ink, this is a white tile with a little bit of color behind it, but you can still do all you want with white paper and any color pen that you have, okay? So we're going to start with the 4 corner dots. Okay. And then I'm going to encourage you to not worry about keeping this one straight. Just kind of makes it fun. All right. So there's our border. And I am going to start in the center with my Micron PN. And I'm going to put this ribbon across for Doodah. You can make this as wide or as narrow as you want. And it doesn't have to be straight. And then I'm going to R that. Okay. Doodah is from Zentangle. And when Maria taught it, she encouraged us to have your line come down and then keep going in the same direction. Okay, in other words, don't go like this and then up, down, up, but keep your strokes all going in the same direction. Okay? It's just a more, I guess, for lack of any other word for it, more Zen-like way to do it. And I enjoy it more that way. Okay? And I try to space them about the same distance apart. And at the top and the bottom, have that distance be about the same. But if it's not, it's okay. See, that one was a little bit wide, but it doesn't matter. And especially when I'm talking, I'm not always consistent with the way my pattern looks. Okay, so we're just going to keep going all the way across this. And we'll go ahead and sneak one in there. All right. And we would have one coming up about like that. And then I'm going to come back and at the tip of each of these, put my dots. And this is just an option. Okay, this is like a tangulation. I like Doodah. Maria said when she did this pattern, it looked kind of like a zipper, and that made her think of the song Zippity Doodah. And that's from the movie Song of the South. That's one of my favorite movies. And so, there you go. Very simple. Okay, now with Baton, there's no certain number of lines that you need to do. On most of these, I have 4 lines. I encourage you to go look at the step outs on tanglepatterns.com because she does a lot of lines in different directions and stuff. I saw where Nancy Domnauer had done this on the Mosaic app, and I liked how hers looked like this. If you have the Mosaic app, she is line.com. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here and put 4 lines. Maybe 5. Sorry. It's the alarm to go get my kids, or my grandkids from school, but I don't have to. I forget that alarm will go off even when I silence my phone. Okay, and then Carole Ohl, who created this pattern, said that she likes to fill in that little triangle that results sometimes. Okay, I'm going to put 4 more lines. And then I'm going to fill this in. Turn your tile and have it go in a different direction. And then fill in your little corner, or you can leave that open. You don't have to do that. Okay, I'm going to come across here. There are no specific rules with this pattern. That's why I'm keeping this here. Don't overthink it. Just put 4 lines, or 5 or 6, however many you would like to. I just remembered I said I was going to do that with a brown pen. I didn't. No mistakes. We're just going to continue like this, but I'm going to come back and add the shading with the rust-colored pen, pastel pencil. Okay. Then just find another place to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to fill this in. I like doing patterns where you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can fill that one in or not. Let's not. I'll come across here. Okay. Fill this in. Let's come across this way. Okay. Go across this way. So in the step outs, Carole Ohl for this just says to keep turning your tile in a little bit different direction and add some more lines. So in other words, I'm not necessarily trying to make all these go the exact same way. And I would like to keep the lines about the same distance apart, but if they're not, it's okay. I filled this one in. Again, don't overthink it. Just turn your tile, add some more straight lines. And again, this part, filling this in, it's totally optional. Okay, almost done. Okay, we're not going to see the back part of that line. And I like how it is wavy with our border not being straight. Now, if you did your border straight, that's just fine. Again, don't overthink it. All right, well, since we did this one in black, let's go ahead and do this side the same way. And then I'll just use the different colors on the pastel chalks, and we'll see how that looks. Because not everybody has all these crazy colors that I do, but most of us have a black ink pen. Okay, for Sea Wave, she starts with just a wavy line, and you can put another wavy line next to it. We're not trying to get it to be a certain way, okay? It doesn't have to go in and out or anything like that. Again, not overthinking it. And then I liked how Melinda Barlow kind of did it. She came in and did kind of wavy lines. She would come up like this and down and up and down, and not in any particular way, if that makes sense, okay? I'm going to go ahead and bring that one down. But you can also, like I'm going to connect here, just come off of this and come down, come off of this one and come down. We're not trying to do any certain pattern. And then I'm going to connect that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and stop adding to this for now, because I want to go ahead and start adding these R lines. I should have kept it like this. And what I'm going to do is start at this point and come up and kind of make an aura and go back to that point, make an aura, keep coming back. And this is what we call either tethered or anchored aura. Okay, they all end up down here. So I'm going to come on this side. I like to point my pen toward what I'm trying to aura, which is why I kept turning my tile. That's just how I like to do it. But I can do it without turning it. And then if you want these to be closer together, you can always go back like here and add another line in between. Okay, and then we end up with it being a little bit darker on each end because these auras are tethered to the same point. Okay, very relaxing. On this side, I'm just going to come out this way, and I'm going to stop on that border line. This one's going to come in like this. Okay, and again, if you want to come in between those and add more lines, you can. And you can see that those were not perfect lines. We don't do perfect. And just keep doing that on each of these. And if you think about actual sea waves, and if you've ever been on a cruise and looked at the waves, they're all jumbled. Okay, they're not perfect lines, so that's what we're doing here. But again, we're going to start and stop at the same point on each side. And where we've put those dividing lines, it may end up looking like they're all connected, and that's okay. We're going to come back with shading, and that's where we're going to see a really big difference. If you don't have pastel pencils, you can do this strictly with the graphite pencil. If you don't have the graphite pencil, just a number 2 pencil will work. If you don't have Zentangle tiles, any piece of paper will work. And if you want to get pastel pencils or Zentangle tiles, you can get them from Zentangle.com. Amazon sells them. Some art supplies sell them. I got my first Zentangle tiles from Michael's. Okay, and again, I'm just putting an aura on those shapes. And then I'm adding a few little lines in between. Okay, again, starting at these points and ending at those points. This does sometimes end up looking kind of like garlic cloves, but I think this one is more random than that. Okay. To me, this does end up looking kind of like stormy sea waves. I like it. Okay, let's go here. All right, so we're just going to put another little wave here. And we're not going to overthink it. We're just going to connect these. Let's connect one here, connect one here, and then just we'll let these be open-ended. If you have the Mosaic app, I would encourage you to look at some of the tiles there where artists have done sea wave. There's some very beautiful tiles there. After looking at that, I decided I wanted to try it. So I appreciate the suggestion. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to have it kind of go off in this direction. And like I said, when we put the pastel chalks on there, it's going to make quite a difference. See, I didn't overthink it. I just added a couple of lines. for this one. It's going to come in this direction. And then let's just kind of put a corner on there. Okay. See, that didn't take long. All right, now comes the fun. Excuse me. So now I'm going to use the black and blue and rust colors. I'm going to start in the center with Doodah and my graphite pencil. And I'm going to put the graphite just right next to the border on Doodah. And then I like to point my pencil at the line that I'm adding the shading to, so that's why I'm turning my tile. If you're drawing with me, remember to breathe. Remember to relax your shoulders. I'm telling you that because I need to relax my shoulders. Okay, so now with my black tortillion, or the tortillion that I have set aside for black or graphite, I'm just going to come in and soften that edge and push it into the paper. But I'm not bringing it all the way to the center. I'm going to turn my tile and come from this direction. Okay, and we are trying to keep this center part not shaded. Okay, let's do blue next. So wherever I see that this had come together, like the start and end of these little areas that we created, I'm just going to put a little bit of pastel pencil there. And like I said, this is a Stabilo. I guess that's how you say it. It's kind of an indigo blue. And it doesn't have to be in a perfect area, okay? Just look to where the tip of that might be. Okay, I'm going to turn it. So where all these lines are coming together, that's what I'm looking for. And I am going to go ahead and put graphite along, not graphite, this blue pastel chalk along the edge on our border. Okay. Did I miss any? Okay, so now I have the tortillion And I have written blue on there. And now I'm just going to come in and soften it. And again, just like we did here, we're going to leave the center part not shaded. That gives us a nice highlight. And you can always come back and put more on there if you want. I have not tried this with the blue yet, so we're getting to check this out together. It does get a little bit dusty with this chalk sometimes. I just love playing with these. I have a art supply close to me, which is dangerous. I try not to go in there very often because I want to buy so much. But it is Texas Art Supply. And I learned about it because when my mom was alive, she did oil painting. And she loved going in there to buy her paints. And now I love going in there to buy things like pens and pencils. They have them set out individually. So, ooh, look at that. They're kind of spread out. I like that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pulled the blue out here a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more in here. Just play with it. All right, what do you think? Okay, I'm going to go over here, and now, just like we do with hollow ball, wherever these lines go under some other lines, we're going to add some brown. And just like we did on this side, I'm going to go ahead and add the pastel along that border line. Okay, so again, wherever it goes under, we're just going to add a little bit, including where it goes under Doodah. I'm pointing my pencil toward what I'm trying to shade so that I can get that line the way I want it. And if I don't get it perfect, it's okay. See, that one went over. It's okay. Just take your time. Don't overthink it. Just have fun. I've had a lot of fun with some of the last tiles that I've done, and I hope that you've seen those videos and hope you enjoyed it. Okay, did I get them all? Nope. Nope, didn't get this one. Or this one. Okay, looks a little bit sloppy for the moment, but now with the tortillion, and I keep these paper clips in there to keep the tip out because I get kind of rough with my tips sometimes. And then we're just going to soften that. So at each one of these, just soften it and pull it toward the center, but don't fill it in all the way. We want to keep that highlight on there. Softening this border line. And I know I go kind of slow on this sometimes, but I feel like I'm going fast and not doing it quite as neatly as I would if I were in my morning Zen time, really taking my time. But again, no mistakes. It's not a contest. We're not being graded. Just enjoy drawing. Enjoy playing What If. So what do you think so far? I thought this might make it look kind of like pieces of wood thrown down in a pile. That's what it reminded me of when I drew it. Oops, I did miss one. You know, I think the biggest problem I have with pastel pencils is sharpening them. They tend to break easily, especially if you drop a pastel pencil. It will break the lid, or the chalk. I was saying lead. It will break the pastel chalk inside here, and then it's very hard to sharpen them. Because it just keeps breaking. Which means I have to go back to the art store. And while I'm there, I can buy other things, right? Okay. I'm not sure what to think here. Pull these in a little bit. Just give it some love. Make it the way you want it. Okay, so with what's left on this, I'm just going to bring some of that color out here like I did on the other side with that blue that was left on my tortillion, and that I kind of smeared it. Just for fun. That's my what if. Cool, what do you think? Definitely different from this one. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. All right, so again, Sea Wave, Doodah, and Baton. And this one was with a watercolor background, and this one was with pastel pencils. All right, initial it and sign it. And when I have lines coming down like that, I like to use one to hang my chop off of it. On the back, please remember to put the pattern names so that when you come back, you'll know what that pattern was. Okay, Baton, Sea Wave, and Doodah. And Topaz Lucille, thank you for that idea. I enjoyed it. Remember, don't overthink it. And remember, when you get to the end, appreciate what you've done again. Okay? I'm grateful to be able to teach you. I'm grateful that you're watching my video. I love your comments. And I would love for you to come back again. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, leave comments, and I will see you next time, my friends. Thank you. Bye.